I did. Yeah, I did. I did.
確かめの上、お間違いのないようご移動ください。それ以外の座席をご利用のお客様におきましては、最大難点を確認させていただくことがあります。また、ご用のあるお客様も、車掌までお申し出ください。
然后我镜头不照相啊。那边
Okay, y'all. I finally made it to a real hotel. Today drained me. This is the room. It's real tiny. Literally, you walk up in here. Boom. That's the whole room. This is the window. This is my view. So there's that. So I'm keeping this closed because I don't know what is across from me and what they could potentially be looking at, but that's weird. So we're gonna close that up. Okay, and then have the refrigerator. Safe. The toilet is seated and it's a bidet. Toothbrush and toothpaste. This is mine. So I am taking a bath today because baby, I'm tired, boss. I'm so tired. My body hurt. I had big plans today. Big plans. And this is gonna be a relaxing day. Yeah. We gonna relax today. Day 3 started out a little bit chaotic. I was doing some shopping in the train station before I headed to Harajuku. I was in 3 coins. I must have checked out, but I left my phone on the counter. I finally realized that I didn't have my phone, so I had to backtrack. And I lost. I lost the most important thing that I could have had on my trip outside of like my identification and passport and money, but like my phone. I don't know how to communicate. I don't even know where I'm at. So I have to go back and find that. So I do believe that I missed the first train that I needed to take to get to where I was going. While I was on the Harajuku street, like on my way to Wiggle Wiggle Zip, so there are allegedly scammers. They did approach me. I think they was trying to sell me some t-shirts or something, but t-shirts wasn't on my souvenir list. So I just ended up lying to them, and I was like, oh, honestly, I didn't even speak English. I just stared at them bewildered because I'm like, I have to do whatever I can to make them believe that I am not American. So I pretended that I was from Africa, but I was from Equatorial Guinea. And so I just started speaking Spanish. Did I have an accent? No, but did that matter? So I just kept speaking Spanish, and I was like answering in like broken English. And he just kept staring at me to the point where he was like, so no English at all. And I just stared at him and I just smiled. And then he was like, I think she lying to me. And I just looked at him and I just smiled like, I don't know what you're saying. And so yeah, that was great. But day 3 was really a chill day. I did a lot of walking, but I explored a lot of stores. I went to Wiggle Wiggle Zip, and that was cute. And then I went vintage shopping. I really didn't have an idea of what I wanted. I just wanted to see what was there. But that Chanel bag that I tried on was so cute, and I wanted it real bad, but I just couldn't commit to it. First of all, I don't even know. I still don't know what yen is. So when they were saying the prices, I just didn't know what the prices were. Even though I was like converting it, it still just wasn't clicking in my head. So I was like, I don't want to make a big purchase. And then I ended up buying some glasses anyways, some Tom Ford glasses, and till this day, I'm really not sure how much I paid for them. I can see. And then we ended the day with Team Labs. I loved it. It was really cute. I do, however, wish that I got to experience that with another person, just because it was really hard to take pictures of myself, but also I didn't have anybody to look at and say, oh my God, look at this. It's so cute, right? Here we are at day 4, and the plan of the day is breakfast, new hotel, do a little bit of shopping, Cup Noodle Museum, and the Kit Kat store. So across from the hotel, that's where the train station was at. So I found this place called Frijoles. It was basically Chipotle. So after that, I walked around the station, I tried on some clothes, and I ended up buying 2 pairs of glasses. So I headed back to the hotel. I had already checked out, and most hotels in Tokyo, they let you store your luggage there before check-in or a little bit after checkout. And this is where I realized that I had too many bags.
The next station is Yokohama.
So the green tote bag that I have, I ended up buying that along with the coin purse, so I could just get through the day with like a cute little bag, and I could put everything that I buy or all my trash in that bag. But I just turned into the bag lady very quickly, and I wish I would have just brought a really huge suitcase, and that probably would have made life so much better. But I ended up getting to the station closest to my hotel, and I was going to walk because it was only a 10-minute walk once again. But it was raining, and I just did not want a repeat of my first day there, so I just took a taxi to the hotel, and I'm so glad that I did that because I was tired and I had all them bags. It was raining. I would have ended up crying and probably got lost again. But when I got to the Hilton Hotel, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like from the moment I stepped out of the taxi, I was greeted with staff, and they were so pleasant compared to all the other hotels that I stayed at. Like the hostel, they were not pleasant. They were just doing their job. The second hotel, they were doing their job, but a little bit more happy to be doing their job. But at Hilton, I'm almost sure they were paying them extra to be happy. So really appreciate that. And I just love this hotel down. Like, it had so much space. It had a full bathroom, a full bed, and a sitting area. I was just so grateful to be in this space. But then I started to think, like, this is just too good of a space that there's just, I must have read the pricing wrong, because it felt like this should have been a $500 room, but it was only twice as much as the hostel stay. So I kind of feel like the hostel really played in my face and they scammed me, but that was my fault, so whatever. Okay, y'all, I am obsessed with the bathroom. If you go somewhere and you're staying in multiple hotels, let the last hotel and your last activities be the best, just so you could end your trip on such a high note. I love a good bathroom. For sure taking a bath. Ooh, for sure taking a bath. You hear me? Low-key, I want to wash my hair, but I don't got the right things to wash my hair. My trip started out very terrible, but it ended so good, except for the fact that I was supposed to go to the Cup Noodle Museum, and because it was a holiday, the Cup Noodle Museum was closed, so I had to just miss out on that experience. And I was so excited about that experience, because that was my one interactive activity that I was really looking forward to. That was second to Hello Kitty, but it was going to see Hello Kitty, going to the Cup Noodle Museum, and then going to Team Labs. Like, those are my top 3 things that I wanted to do, and I just could not go to the Cup Noodle Museum. So I ended up at the mall, and I went to the Kit Kat store, and I just got so many different flavors of Kit Kats. I kind of missed them. I kind of want to order some more Kit Kats because they were just so cute. And they were good. And some people don't like Kit Kats. I don't know what the hate is about. Or maybe I just like weird candy, because I love a good Twizzler and I love a good Kit Kat. What can I say? Good food is good food. Or good candy is good candy. And then at the mall, I ended up getting ramen again, because the ramen that I had the day before was so delicious that I was just like, I need to have this again. And mall ramen is disgusting. But in the cafeteria at the mall, there is a sink where you could wash your hands. And I just want to know, why don't we have that in America? Why do I have to go into this disgusting smelling bathroom? It's just lower body particles just all in the air, in the atmosphere. And I'm just supposed to walk in there, wash my hands, come out, and then eat? Very strange. I think we should get sinks in the middle of our malls. That's all I'm saying. But I digress. I ended up back at the hotel after walking around the mall, and it really wasn't that many stores in that mall that I wanted to look at. So it was a very quick trip, and then I kind of just walked around Yokohama at nighttime because it was pretty safe. But once again, I had another chill day.
So we didn't learn. We didn't learn from last time. We didn't. So, we didn't learn.
So day 5, my last full day, was supposed to be very smooth and calm and easy. It started off a little hectic and then it ended very good. So I went to Lawson to get those little chicken nuggets. They're so good. People love 7-Eleven there, but Lawson has some really good food. But this train ended up stopping because they had to save a passenger. So that setback messed me up real bad because I had to switch train stations. Either I had to switch train stations. Honestly, I don't know what was happening. And then Google Maps once again lost my location. So I got on the train. It took me somewhere else. And so then I had to get back to where I started. But that didn't work. And I was just so overwhelmed that I just had to, while I was walking to another train station to get on the right train, I just had to cry real quick. Usually I like to cry in the privacy of, I don't know, like a home, a bathroom, a car, a closet, something. I was just like, let me just get this cry out, could reset the mood. Sometimes you just gotta cry, it don't matter. But finally got to where I was going, and I got there a little late. But once I got there, I was so elated. Like, I love Hello Kitty so much. And it was so cute in there. Like, if I could have bought everything, I would have bought everything and had to buy like 2 to 3 more suitcases to fit everything. So the first thing that I did was go eat because all I had for breakfast was those little chicken nuggets. And then it was about to close in like a couple hours. And so I was like, let me eat first before I get in line to get on the train or get in line to see Hello Kitty. And I just needed to calm down. Like, it was just such a long journey just to get there. And it took me a little minute to edit this video, so I really don't remember how the food tasted. I tried the pink curry. Like, it was good, but my brain could not conceptualize the fact that I was eating something pink and like pudding looking, but it was curry. Like, my brain was really confused. My taste buds and my brain was trying to connect, and it just was not connecting. After Hello Kitty, that was like my last train ride. So after that, I was just so stressed out, and I was just like, tomorrow, getting back to the airport. So since I went to Yokohama my last day, it was about 2 hours away from the airport. So I kept checking and looking to see what train do I take to get to the airport. Because if I miss my flight to leave, I would be so mad. So thankfully I got on the right train to get to the airport. I don't know what was wrong with this trip. Like, I got to the airport, I checked in, but I left my power bank on the counter at check-in, and I made it all the way through security, and I was like, dang, I left my stuff. But thankfully the security check was like 20 steps away from check-in. So I was just like, oh, I need to go back. I left something over there, and they let me. So yeah, I have the worst. I don't even know if it's a memory issue. I just be leaving stuff. And then got on the plane. The plane ride was cool. But and then I thought that I lost my phone on the plane. Like I didn't know if I left it in the bathroom, if somebody stole it, if I put it somewhere and I just didn't remember. I think I was sitting on it the whole time. And then by the time we got back to the States, so I had my phone, my camera, my ID, and my keys in my fanny pack. And I don't know why, but I must have took my fanny pack off and put it underneath the seat. And so usually when I'm like on a plane, if I don't have like a connecting flight, I don't really care what time I get off the plane. Like I'm not in a rush to get off the plane. I stay seated and I let everybody get off the plane before me, because y'all are in a rush. Y'all got to get to wherever it is that y'all are going. And I didn't have any checked bags, so I didn't like need to be down there. So everybody just get off the plane. I don't like all that rushing and everybody pushing up on you. Like, please calm down. So I was just sitting waiting, and you would think while I was sitting and waiting for everybody to deplane that I would make sure that I have all of my things together, but that is not what was on my mind. So yeah, so most of the people were off the flight. I got up, I went to the bathroom, and then immediately outside of the bathroom is customs, or that's customs, border patrol. What is it? The place where you go to, y'all know what I'm trying to say. So the customs and border area was right outside the bathroom. And once I seen that, I guess I reached for my fanny pack and I was just like, oh no, I don't have any form of identification on me. So I was like, first of all, I was the almost last person off the plane. And I went to the bathroom, and in the bathroom, I still took a minute to like look at myself and get myself together. And then as soon as I walked out, that's when it hit me. So I was like, oh shoot. So I had to walk back to the airplane. I don't even know how I got back to the airplane, to be honest, because it was so many twists and turns. But as I'm walking back to the airplane, like all the airport employees kept looking at me like, you're not supposed to be back here. And I was just like, yeah, I know, but like I left my identification on the plane. Like I can't even leave the airport without that. So I'm passing like so many signs that keep saying wrong way, don't enter. But like at this point, I just don't care because I need my ID and my keys. Like these are very important things. And then, once you get to the airport, like, so if there wasn't a connecting flight, thankfully. So after the airplane drops us off, it goes away to get, I don't know, cleaned, refueled, whatever happens to a plane after an international trip. So I'm like really rushing back to the airplane. And then one of the flight attendants, she seen me and she was just like, oh, where are you going? And I was like, oh, I left my stuff on the plane. And she was like, oh, we checked the plane, we ain't seen nothing. I was like, I think I left it underneath the seat. And so she walked back to the plane with me. And because she was saying that I wouldn't be able to get back on the plane anyways, like somebody else would have to do it. And she was telling me while we was walking back, like, yeah, usually the plane would be gone by now. The only reason why it's still here is because their overhead cabinets or something with all the flight attendant stuff wouldn't open. And she was like, so yeah, like you're really lucky because in any other event, like the plane would have been pulled away. And I was like, what is it with my luck this week? Like, it was very crazy. But anyways, they found my stuff. And then I made it back downstairs, made it through the little border line. And then like and then I heard like a little message overhead on the intercom, and it was like, make sure you have all of your things, blah blah blah. And I was just like, they talking about me, ain't it? So yeah, that was my trip. It was filled with a whole lot of twists and turns. The highlight was my Hilton hotel stay, and seeing Hello Kitty. If I ever go back to Japan, I would definitely go with people. Just because, I don't know if maybe it was because I was by myself that it was so stressful. But yeah, I would definitely go with people. And I would get to go to the Cup Noodle Museum. I wouldn't go during a holiday. And I would definitely buy maybe something vintage, like a watch or a purse or something. But that wasn't on my mind this trip. So, oh, and I would explore more. In Japan. Like, I wanted to go to the beach. I wanted to go see Mount Fuji. And I wanted to do like a couple little other things that I just wasn't able to do. And I would stay maybe 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is enough time to like really get the full experience.